Good morning, YouTube viewers. It's Saturday, May the 4th, 2013. May the 4th be with you, as Star Wars people would say. Today's video is being recorded in the back garden of Bullock Towers here in Norwich, Norfolk, England. And the reason I'm doing this video is it's going to be a kind of before and after sequence on my YouTube channel, involving the redevelopment of the pond area of the back garden. Now, the current pond that you'll see, well, you can't really see it at the moment, it's on the left of the picture behind that picket fence. That was a pond that I dug out myself by hand, almost exhausting myself in the process, and stuck one of those plastic pond lines in about 16 or so years ago. And it's got a few frogs in it, but it's a bit amateurish, and it's got a little bit of wildlife in it here and there. And then to the right of that, just behind the swing, you'll see an area which is really nothing more than a messy, overgrown sort of dumping ground of a flower bed. And next week, over the next week or so, we're having a couple of men in who are going to radically redevelop the whole pond area and that flower bed, relay some paving slabs and create what I hope is going to be a rather snazzy pond area with two ponds actually. If I just take you round and show you what we've got at the moment. This is the pond. We had to have this fencing put up when Gregory was a toddler in case he fell in and drowned, because it's about, I think it's about 1.5 foot deep in the middle. So this is the pond that we've got at the moment. There's the odd frog movement going on down there, some shingle at the side, and various totally inappropriate pond plants that I bought from the garden centre, including this sedgy thing, sedge, which I think it said on the instructions was an ideal border plant for ponds, but I think it probably meant more Broads than 4.5 foot garden ponds, and it seems to have taken over the entire garden. And I'm just going to take you round through the gate here. You can see it's overgrown everything, and this is the existing pond, which is just, as you can see, just one of these black plastic pond liners, pre-formed, and I don't think it's ever really leaked or anything, but it's just become very tatty and overgrown, and because the fence is around it you can't really see what it's meant to be. So that's going to be replaced with a rectangular raised pond that you can sit on the edge of, hopefully. And then over here we've got an area which, as I say, is really used to be a kind of flower bed. I think at one point it was a vegetable plot, and someone's dumped some soil and that on there, so that's a good old mess. So that's going to become a lower nature pond, like a kind of bog pond. So that's the area which is going to be redeveloped over the course of the next fortnight, hopefully. And what I'm going to do is upload this video and then one when the project is either completed or near to completion, so it will be by way of a before and after sequence. So there you go, the ponds at Bullock Towers. This swing is going to have to be got rid of because it's in the way of the paving. I think Gregory's grown out of that now. So there's the ponds, and hopefully the next video on the channel will show the new look area here in the garden in Norwich.
Well, welcome back, YouTube viewers. It's amazingly almost a year since the last clip that you just watched. That was May 2013. It's now April the 23rd, 2014. So almost a year now since I recorded the old ponds in the garden at Bullock Towers. The project took rather longer than we'd expected, really. It dragged on a little bit for various technical reasons, and so I never really did get around to doing the second video until now. So we're going to have a look now, and I'm going to show you the transformation from what the ponds looked like this time last year. The view that we've got at the moment is looking down the garden of Bullock Towers here in Norwich, central Norwich. Looking quite nice at the moment because obviously it's April and summer is here, and it's a very sunny day of course today. Just going to walk down now and show you where we are with everything. So we're coming down now. If you remember last time, there was the playhouse, the swing, the two old ponds, and here we have it. That is the playhouse. This is the nature pond, which used to be that terrible old flower bed, and that's the fish pond, which used to be where the original pond was. So as you can see, really quite dramatically changed since the last video clip. It's obviously matured over winter. I haven't got any fish in the main pond yet. That's been a bit of a delay on that in a way, because I just want to get some fairly plain goldfish in there, but all sorts of people keep frightening me about how the moment you put fish into garden ponds, they're either attacked by cats or herons, and therefore you have to put all manner of complicated netting over them and do all sorts of things. And to be honest, it's put the frighteners on me, so I've never actually got around to getting any fish yet, which seems a shame, but I'm working on that. Let's take you over here first of all to the nature pond, the frog pond. The piece on the right there where you can see these shrubs, that's actually supposed to be a bog pond. It's got some rubber underneath it to keep that soil fairly damp, and the pond kind of overflows into it. And we've had so many tadpoles this year. I've never seen so much frog spawn. If I take you down here, hopefully you'll be able to see the tadpoles moving around. This is typical of the pond. They're absolutely everywhere, these little fellas, and loads of them. I've got a little bit of a problem going on with blanket weed in this pond. I think because it's so exposed to the sun. I've put a new pump in actually, which has got a UV light on. I'm hoping that might cut down on the algae. And the reason I've not pulled up the blanket weed, which you can see there, that kind of hairy green weed there in the middle, is because the tadpoles are kind of living in it, and if you start pulling it up and winding it up, you tend to end up with a whole load of living tadpoles in it, which is a shame. So some plants along the back there, some bamboo screening at the back, and then over here you'll see this is supposed to be a fish pond, but lacking fish at the moment. It's got one or two little creatures in it, kind of diving beetles and pond skaters and things. That's a water lily there in that basket, which will be coming up soon, and one or two edging sort of marginal plants, and then a couple of bamboos in pots there at the edges. I'm hoping eventually I'll grow something around the back of that screening, but anyway, so there you have it. Quite a transformation from the last video, I hope you'll agree. Still a little bit of a work in progress, because no fish at the moment, and no netting. I think the problem is that once you put the fish in and then stick all that netting over the top, it rather spoils the profile of the left-hand pond, I think, and might look a bit rubbish, but then it won't have any fish in it, of course, so it's a bit of a self-defeating thing. So that's it. The ponds at Bullock Towers, a year on from the first video, and looking very nice, I think, and quite a calming influence at this end of the garden. If you just look back here past the shed there's a little decking area where we sometimes sit out. That's my office up at the top there in that extension. Conservatory, Greg's room, and the kitchen is that window underneath the stilts, the pillars. In fact, that whole section on the back there was an extension which we put on 4 or 5 years ago over the top of the kitchen. So there you have it, Bullock Towers, the garden of with the ponds, and it is April 2014.